we want to learn how to query to the database to answer to the questions. Like the purpose of the database is I want to show the list of female customers, right? So I'm going to go to the create query wizard, symbol query wizard, and of course what table I need to look at for the genders, customer, right? So I pick the customer table, and you can list just first name, last name. You don't need to show gender, that's okay too, or if you want to show gender, that's fine too, but just put it in. And this is the query name, so I'm going to name it as female customer, and I'm going to modify this, click finish. Then I can just modify it to criteria on my gender is going to equals to female. When I run it, it's going to show the list of customers who are females, which is only one customer, Minnie Mouse in this case. Save this. Now let me show you, like for example, I go to customer table, customer form, right? This is where the user is going to use. I add the new customer coming in. My new customer name is Tinkerbell, and gender is female, right? Street, okay, 100, rent state, email tbell@gmail.com, and that's the number. We can add more contacts, right? We already created a form that can add to multiple tables. tingle@gmail.com, and it's okay if you just want to have more phone or just more emails without phones, because they can be empty, right? This can be null. Alright, so we're done. So now let's see, if I want to add more, I could do the same thing, but now I don't want to add anything else, so I'm going to save this. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at a query. So the point is, when I run female customers, there you go, it's going to update the list right away. See that? So the query is going to run. When you run again, it's just get through the new data, like the current information for you right away. So that's why when we do the transcript for students, when I run a query for transcript for your transcript, then I always get the latest information. After your professor submitted grade, I get your query update with your GPA. So that's how we do it, right? We just need to have the database design right there and create a query, and it's going to do all the job for you already. That's the point of database here. You see that? Now let's see if I want to get a list of customers who are living in Annandale, right? How do we do that? So we're going to go to create a new queries, right? Query wizard. Now think about what are the tables that you need to deal with. You can do query from the query too. You see that? So we need to know customer, list of customer. Let's just get the name and first and last. You don't need to worry about gender anymore. And now we have to look at your relationships. Remember, relationship means you create a relationship from database tools, relationships. This is your ER diagram that's going to help. When you're dealing with address, you need address table, and you need a city in it, so you need zip code table, right? And you also need the customer and customer address. You need 4 tables to answer that question. So you're going to create a query wizard that's going to deal with those 4 tables. So first I need customer, first name and last name. And I need to deal with zip code PK, where I have the city here. Let's see if I just deal with this too, what happens. Would you like a detail or a summary query? Okay, let me do the summary here, fields. Oh, so by the way, if you use wizard, you can do sum, average, min, max too. Okay, so that's the summary. So let's get the details, just show all the records. Like in this case. And I said customer by city. So that's going to be my query. So we're going to modify the query. Now I have primary key. You see that? By default, the wizard is going to bring out a table for you. Let's say we have to involve with customer address, and zip, right? But on the keys, if you use the wizard, you just pick the keys that you want it to show as a result. I want to show just first name, last name, and the city, right? Or zip code. Actually, I do a city here, primary city. So criteria. Can you guys guess what we're going to put? We're looking at Annandale, right? Just spell right. Of course, if you don't spell right, it's not going to show, right? So to Annandale, right? Annandale. So let's run it. Voila! We get 2 customers who live in Annandale. Is that cool? So now your database can be used as the customer database, right? So I'm going to save this as Annandale first, and let's try to put more customer in. Of course, you need to create a form to take care of that, right? Customer and address, right? Now, before we going to do that, I want to show you one thing first. When I say by city, that means I can actually specify the city as my parameters. Because you don't want to do Annandale, customer by Annandale, customer by Fairfax, customer by Springfield, customer by Washington, DC, right? It's kind of going to be a lot of queries going on, right? Thousands of queries here. We don't want that. We can actually do another way by modifying your query here. Let's see, I want to go to design view again, and you can use parameters to help. See, so I'm going to create parameters and let name city. Of course, everything has data type. It should be text, right? Instead of Annandale, I'm just going to type city, replacing it with the parameters, right? Now when I run it, it's going to pop up. Hey, tell me what the city that you want to find, right? Now I type Annandale. Now I might happen to type it wrong. Let's run the query again. Annandale. Parameter is city, right? Is that how you spell Annandale? Annandale. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna test again what happens. Maybe the parameters. CITY. Their type is text. Did I have it as text on the original text? Okay. So let me test to put the integer back and see if it works. Okay, pop up for parameters because I have parameters. Okay, so now I understand. So somewhere here that a link is not proper. It seems like parameter didn't used here. So I have parameter name city, right? So I think what I need to do is I need to say equals to maybe like that, city. So let's test that. Run again. ANNANDALE. There you go, right? So you have to put the equal symbols in front when you use parameter. Because if I don't use equals, it's not that looking for city, name city, which we don't have that. That's why it's empty, right? But when I put the equals, then that means we're looking at it's equals to the values of the city, not the city, right? So that's how we make it works. Now I can actually type in any cities. Like let's look up my customer address. So I have someone living in Abbott, right? So let's do a query. So let's give this to Abbott too. Alright, so let's do a query from customer by city. ABBOTT. Right? Abbott. So I just give the address to, but I have to save the data. Then it should update now with 2 customers. ABBOTT. ABBOTT. Seven 6 6 2 1 ABBOTT. But the address I didn't assign to customer yet. Like I have the address, but customer to address, we don't have customer lives there yet. Like I can say customer ID 5 live in Abbott 2. Alright. But of course you're not going to understand the numbers there. That's why we require to have a form to do the address, which we didn't create that yet. There you go. So we have 2 guys now after I really assign the customer to live there, right? So that is how we do the query.